Good morning, T-Sippers. What's poppin'? Please hit the like button coming in. Hey, Dante. Vixen, baby, good morning. Argentry, good morning. Kane Life, good morning. What's the facts today, Miss Lady? You gonna pop in? Where my phone kicked out last night on them videos, connecting, going back to the connection when it fell apart. Who's all involved with Vato? His name is a few people. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get situated. I had to finish my breakfast. I'm late, y'all. I'm just anyway. De Niro, I really never factored him in, but he's a factor, so they say. So we gonna look at that. Guess who back in jail? Take this earpiece out. Guess who? ASS is back in jail. I'm gonna show y'all that. And then we're going to have our Sunday motivation. Is that all right? How does that sound, Dante? Is that all right? Because my phone just kicked all the way out. My phone kicked all the way out last night. All the way out. Then I heard I ain't gonna do it. I was finna go there because somebody had my name in their mouth on YouTube this morning. Laquita was about to go there. Hey, Letitia. And because she need content. And you know, they like to go, for people to go back and forth with them. I'm gonna let them make it. Because we gonna have some motivation today. Is that all right? Are y'all okay with that? But before I forget, and get caught up in time, because y'all know time ain't always on AunTeaFee side. I'm going to show y'all this stuff first. I was supposed to show y'all yesterday, Boosie and Rollo sat down and had a powwow and squashed their beef. That's one update. Because once I move it, baby, you know that this gonna disappear. I paused it. Let me see if I can get to the other one. Yes, as soon as I moved it, it says the story is no longer there. AunTeaFee, you held it for that long. You did. Hold on. Let me see what me and Jay said. I want y'all to see who else is back in jail. I saw that Biden, Big Meech's brother, and BMF co-founder Terry Southern T. He was pardoned. Who else he gonna go in and pardon on his way out that he can remember to do? Hello. He might as well. Calvin. That Trump dump Trump. He would do with whoever just like he did before. So take advantage of it. Let some people go. What is this? Wait a minute. Guess who back in jail, y'all? Who wanna guess? Who back in jail? Who can guess? She can't help herself, Lord. She can't leave that woman's oochie coochie alone. I'm sure it's stalking. I'm sure her drug test done came back. Oh my goodness, I didn't save it. This is the guy who was in the white Camaro and apple bottom blossom. And one of my content creators, not my content creators, one of my tea sippers who is from the AB sent me the video of them two guys laid out. Oh my God. I don't know if they were standing by the car. No, because one of the car doors was open. But it wasn't nothing pretty. But this is the guy they showing. I said yesterday in the white Camaro. But it was two people laid out. And one of them was a thick guy. Okay, Leticia. I can let y'all hear it, but I sure can't let y'all see it. It's bad. I mean, they out. They just laid out. He said that guy name is Jacob. But it's a big guy. Okay. Who is that saying I'll be back? Okay, y'all please hit the like button coming in. Y'all not hitting the like button. Like, share, subscribe, join the membership. This is super sticker. I got a goal up there. And also the gift boxes are at the bottom. Please support the platform. This who in jail. Oh man, please, it left again. Dang it. Hey David, Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas. I'm gonna have to go back and dig it up. As soon as I went back, I guess I had it sitting there too long. Oh my goodness. Where is that, y'all? Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to go to the jail. I was trying not to have to go to the jail. Y'all get, yeah, spinning. There she go. Old Judge Melissa Boyd. That CMG, drunky, funky, stalking, drugged out, former judge. That ass that was represented, that is represented by CMG's attorney. Y'all remember old Jicky Wicky, Melissa Boyd, that looked like Aunt Linda? That ass is back in jail. The judge. Can you believe it? She just can't help herself. I'm sure it's violation. Her drug test came back dirty, filthy, nasty. But you know, she was stuck on that lady's cookies. Y'all remember? Thank you, spinning. Tread. Y'all remember she was stuck on that woman's cookies. And she violated her protection order. So ain't no telling what. And then Art Horn tried to get her a deal so she would be able to be reinstated, but she can't help herself, see. She can't follow the rules. How you gonna be a judge and you can't follow the rules and you send people to prison because they can't follow the rules? See how they make the rules and break them? But see, they knew them eyes was on CMG and all their plots and ploys and the people they had in place to manipulate the system for them. Let their people come in and get out. So they kept their eye on her. And she was drunk. I'ma let you go this time. Yeah, you get okay, Mr. Charlie. You know, that type of stuff. That ass is back in jail. She gonna wind up in prison. Mark my words. She gonna come up in that foolishness. Mark my words. Let me get on back over here to where that video was. Y'all wanna hear? Y'all wanna hear the people in Apple Blossom last night when that incident happened? I cannot show y'all the video, but I can let y'all hear it. Do y'all wanna hear it or do y'all even care?
Dead out here, fool. These young niggas just killed these folks. Jump out dead. Dead out here, fool. These young niggas just killed these folks. Jump out dead, cuz y'all like.
Can y'all hear it?
Dead out here, fool. These young niggas just killed these folks. Jump out dead. Dead out here, fool. These young niggas just killed these folks. Jump out dead, cuz y'all like.
One of them is a big dude.
These young niggas just killed these folks. Jump out dead. Dead out here, fool. These young niggas just killed these folks. Jump out dead, cuz y'all like.
One of them is a big dude. I'm trying to see his face. I'm assuming that that's Jacob, cause he's smaller.
Dead out here, fool. These young niggas just killed these folks.
And there go the big guy. Can y'all see it? So that's what happened in Apple Blossom. They only talking about one, but it looks like, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I don't know if the other one has passed or not, but they said that both of them One was little, one was big. Condolences to the family. I don't know what that was about. Hey, Chelsea.
Jump out dead. These folks dead out here, fool. These young niggas just killed these folks. Jump out dead, cuz y'all about.
So let's get back to what we was watching yesterday. I'm going to pick up right where the phone kicked out. Is that all right? Oh, look at Dolph's kids. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. Look at Trey and Aria. Shout out to Mia J. She just posted this 27 minutes ago. What you say? You said the black on black killing is out of control. Will there be any black men left on earth in 40? They got to change their mindset. They got to get out of wherever it is. They got to get out and change their mindset. They can't get out and keep the same mindset. That's just taking the menace mindset to another city and state. You got to change your mindset. You got to grow up. You got to get out of that gang life. You know, it's either jail or the grave. You got to get into a relationship with God, period. So let me pick up where I left off. And it was right here on De Niro. But I'm going to back up a little bit to remind us where we was. Let's go.
On this one already being first out of many murder-for-hire contracts passed around by Gotti.
Oh, this shit don't exclude nobody. A chick can't get no pass on this shit. Shout, if you ain't rockin' with us, we ain't rockin' with your funk ass. Fuck you, bitch. Oh, this shit don't exclude.
You know how I like to say, what Goin does not want you to know is, well, this time we have. What Gotti does not want you to know is that he didn't look out even after this crash out right here. De Niro risked his and his family lives to keep his master happy, and all he received was big fat nothing. Broke till this day, Gotti never even got him a job anywhere. Only people who ever got anything from Gotti were his artists, and that was money from the big major labels that he secured as funding. Gotti not spending money on peasants.
Didn't get paid?
He uses them and sells them a dream.
Hold
just
on,
like he did to Goin and his crash outs.
So Keon don't get paid? He didn't get paid? How many years he stayed in prison? But he didn't. Are y'all telling me he didn't get paid either? He tricked these hitmen out their money. He ain't pay Keon.
Vice president of the label. He was very close to branches of a labeled/criminal organization. Stop it. Keon has already completed the majority.
He didn't
of
get
his
paid.
sentence.
The Rolls Royce.
He was very close to Gotti for years and years way before 2016. He has known him for that long to be able to climb the ranks all the way to the road manager and vice president of the label. He was very close to Brandon Mims, Papa, who we will introduce in the upcoming next 2 episodes, and many more characters that I am yet to show you. Gotti never had shooters or the army.
I'm sure he paid him.
That demonstrates the fact that he had to use 2 of his label affiliates and risk everything they all got going on over one man who called himself one of the kings of Memphis. Gotti should have been charged with a conspiracy on this one, already being first out of many murder for hire contracts passed
Yeah, he
around
should have
by
been a part
Gotti.
of the conspiracy with Keon. I agree.
This shit don't exclude nobody. A chick can't get no pass on this shit. Shout, if you ain't rocking with us, we ain't
Is he
rocking with
talking
your
about
fuck ass. Fuck you, bitch.
what's her name, Darnisha?
This shit don't exclude.
You know how I like to say, what Goin does not want you to know is, well, this time we have. What Gotti does not want you to know is that he didn't look out even after this crash out right here. De Niro risked his and his family lives to keep his master happy, and all he received was big fat nothing. Broke till this day, Gotti never even got him a job anywhere. Only people who ever got anything from Gotti were his artists, and that was money from the big major labels that he secured as funding. Gotti not spending money on peasants. He uses them and sells them a dream, just like he did to Goin and his crash outs.
So he's a dream seller.
Vato used to work at the warehouse full-time while simultaneously being volunteer Gotti's backup dancer and extra security that he secured as funding. Gotti not spending money on peasants. He uses them and sells them a dream, just like he did to Goin and his crash outs. Vato used to work at the warehouse full-time while simultaneously being volunteer Gotti's backup dancer and extra security. Vato worked extremely hard, and Gotti never even gave that man a proper job, while Vato has been repping CMF and smoking mid since dinosaurs were roaming around Earth. That tells you everything right there. And Youngsta got sold a dream too. He joins the conflict right after the first shooting. We are going to continue down our timeline and see his part next. Oh no, wait. What is this right here? Let's check this out first.
Hey, Crystal.
What's going on, man? Man, fuck up,
I don't rap. I ain't never met no motherfucking black youngster day in my life.
Oh, let me go back and look at that.
Oh, man.
Let's see the lie he done got caught in.
All this cap ass shit they got child believing.
Back to our timeline. Okay, we've shown you how Dolph went public in 2014 and admitted Gotti wanted to own him, but he said no. Okay, cool. Next we showed how the first public signs of friction happened in February of 2016, where the issue was the name of Dolph's project. So how does Black mid since dinosaurs were roaming around Earth? That tells you everything right there. and Youngsta got sold a dream too. He joins the
Dream
conflict
seller.
right after the first shooting. We are going to continue down our timeline and see his part next. Oh no. Wait. What is this right here? Let's check this out first.
I don't rap. I ain't never met no motherfucking black youngster day in my life. Oh my, that's crazy. All that cap ass shit they got y'all believe.
Back to our timeline. Okay, we've shown you how Dolph went public in 2014 and admitted Gotti wanted to own him, but he said no. Okay, cool. Next we showed how the first public signs of friction happened in February of 2016, where the issue was the name of Dolph's project. So how does Black Youngsta fit into this story and the timeline? Well, after Dolph spoke up, Gotti finally realized that he had to move on from Dolph and kept an ear to the street. In 2015, Youngsta released his breakout song called Heavy. The song leads to Gotti signing Youngsta the same year and releasing his first project under CMF stamp in September 2015. Gotti needed a person who was heavy in the streets to sell a dream to, because this guy Dolph was going to be a big problem for him in the years to come. Gotti needed a team of crash outs to fight his personal conflicts and agendas. So Youngsta fits in the timeline perfectly and tells us what happened in 2015, since that is the year we did not cover due to a lack of events occurring. Keep in mind his first project at CMF was only a few months before the first public conflict and the first shooting.
Okay.
Not even 5 days have gone by since the Charlotte shooting in 2016 with Kian and De Niro, and here goes their boy Black Youngsta calling Dolph soft for not retaliating immediately. He started calling Dolph soft, calling out Dolph to speak on his problems, if he has them with anybody. Which Dolph actually did, but anyway, Youngsta disapproves of Dolph being king of Memphis for being born in a different city, even though he grew up since a baby in Memphis. And at the end, Youngsta swears he will smack Dolph when he sees him trying to keep his master Gotti satisfied. I am still not sure who is a better pet for Gotti. Is it Youngsta or Stray Cop? Dolph only laughed at the fool.
Gotti a straight cop.
Hey man, I'ma keep this shit G, bro. Dolph, you a bitch. You a soft ass nigga. You nice ass nigga. If you got a problem, nigga, say you got a problem. Shake ass, bitch ass nigga. You ain't no motherfucking king of Memphis. You ain't king of South Memphis. You ain't from the city, bitch. Hey man, I'ma keep this shit G, bro. Dolph, you a bitch. You a soft ass nigga. You nice ass nigga. If you got a problem, nigga, say you got a problem.
So,
shake ass, bitch
so
ass
right
nigga.
there,
You ain't no motherfucking king of Memphis. You ain't king of South Memphis. You ain't from the city, bitch.
Dolph wasn't this, Dolph wasn't that.
After
Dolph
throwing
ain't
first
innocent,
threats to Dolph,
right?
Youngsta could not sit still.
Y'all remember they always talking about Dolph wasn't innocent, Dolph wasn't this, Dolph wasn't that. You know, he played a part, all of that.
Master Gotti satisfied.
CMG
I am still not sure who is a better pet for Gotti.
You ain't
is it Youngsta or Stray Cop?
Ain't that what
Dolph
he just said?
only
Hey,
laughed
Carrie.
at the fool.
man, I'ma keep this shit G, bro. Dolph, you a bitch. You a soft ass nigga. You nice ass nigga.
Called him
You got
nice.
a problem, nigga. Say you got a problem. Shake ass, bitch ass nigga. You ain't no motherfucking king of Memphis. You ain't king of South Memphis. You ain't from the city, bitch. Hey, man, I'ma keep this shit
He
G,
called him
bro.
nice.
Dolph, you a bitch. You a soft ass nigga. You nice ass nigga. If you got a problem, nigga, say you got a problem. Shake ass, bitch ass nigga. You ain't no motherfucking king of Memphis. You ain't king of South Memphis. You
Now
ain't from
black.
the city.
Yes. Okay.
After throwing first threats to Dolph, Youngsta could not sit still. That same day, he hit up his homeboys and launched an invasion of Castalia, which counts as murder attempt number 2 by a criminal organization, CMF members.
Organized
They were
crime.
looking for Dolph, which caught the eye of the Memphis public and the police. And nothing was done even though guns were real due to Gotti's and Youngsta's connections to the law enforcement.
There you
If
go.
it were the other way around, Dolph would still be doing time for an attempted life-taking.
I agree.
Right now, cuz. We in South Memphis. Right now, cuz. What down there, cuz? Where you at, cuz?
Let go. Let go. What's his name?
Where you at?
Chandel.
Where you at? Where you at, dog? Down there, cuz. Where you at, cuz?
Chandel.
Where you at? Where you at right now? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at, dog? You see the level, dog? You see me? Down there, cuz. Where you at, dog? Where you at? Where you at? We in Castalia right now. We just left the store. Where you at right now, dog? Where you at right now?
They go the other snitch, Chandel. Working with the feds.
I
I told y'all Chandel was tied to Black Youngsta.
We don't fuck with dog. You fuck with dog, cuz? You fuck with dog, man. Yeah. Can't stay in love me, boy. You know what's going on, boy. I love Cash Day. What's up, love? What problem? East side bitch, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, big blood. What's up? What's up, cuz? What's up, blood? What's up, cuz? A whole lot of blood shit. East side, big blood shit. YG beat my real talk. Blood, nigga know what's going on, man. We out here. We out here like that. We in front of the house. Not alone, man. They just pulled me over. Yeah, man. Get what we had. Thank Jesus, I'm legit, man. Thank you, Jesus, man. We good. You know what's going on, man. See what's going on, man. OG shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You see how you doubt the police out?
According to the news article from Action News 5, Youngsta passes next to police with no issues and claims all guns are real. According to MPD, because Dolph did not snitch, due to that being the usual way of CMF affiliates, the investigation into this attempted life-taking never started. Therefore, no charges could be pressed without the victim's statement.
And we know Dolph did not give a statement. Again, on Black Youngsta. And he has the nerve to be running his mouth.
The public reaction was harsh on Youngsta. One guy says that Youngsta sucks and that people are out there dying, and he wants to beef over the title king of Memphis. The guy tries to tell Youngsta how he did not do his homework and Dolph meant it as being one of the kings. The other person demands more Dolphs in the world and fewer Black Youngstas. The third guy notices how Youngsta snitched on himself and the rest of his neighborhood.
Dummy. Dumb Youngsta.
You already know Dolph has been responding to this goofball that entire day, ending with the night scene where he shows them exactly where he at in case they really looking for him. Atlanta is only one drive away. Pay attention to how somebody slips up on the shooting in North Carolina 5 days earlier, and the other person in the video reminds him to stay quiet.
Hey, if I was these fuck niggas, I'd be mad at me too. You know what I mean? Yeah, all that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I still ain't got no tags, bitch. Yeah, you know what I mean? I be mad at me too, bro. You feel me? I be mad too, bro. Trap nigga living luxury. Hey, don't got time for no Lord of fuckery. Yo, why I keep on fucking up in miscount? She talk too much, I had to put that bitch out.
Hey, Tribal.
They thought it was gay when I said
Was
free
it
my
CJ?
nigga, yo,
It
did
was
it.
working in
Yeah. Man, we
North
here,
Carolina.
baby. Hey, look, how we
Let me
doing
get
it, baby.
that.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This shit big, man. This shit getting bigger than...
According to the news article from Action News 5,
Dinero and
Youngsta
Vato.
passes
So
next
gonna
to
be in that
police
pointing
with
Gotti
no
ass earlier.
issues and
Feds
claims
got a
all
whole
guns are
trail
real.
of
According to MPD, because Dolph did not snitch. Due to that being the usual way of CMF affiliates, the investigation into this attempted life-taking never started. Therefore, no charges could be pressed without the victim's statement. The public reaction was harsh on Youngsta. One guy says that Youngsta sucks and that people are out there dying, and he wants to beef over the title King of Memphis. The guy tries to tell Youngsta how he did not do his homework and Dolph meant it as being one of the kings. The other person demands more Dolphs in the world and fewer black Youngstas. The third guy notices how Youngsta snitched on himself and the rest of his neighborhood. You already know Dolph has been responding to this goofball that entire day, ending with the night scene where he shows them exactly where he at in case they really looking for him. Atlanta is only one drive away. Pay attention to how somebody slips up on the shooting in North Carolina 5 days earlier, and the other person in the video reminds him to stay quiet.
Hey, if I was these fuck niggas, I'd be mad at me too. You know what I mean? Yeah, all that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I still ain't got no tags, bitch. Yeah, you know what I mean? I be mad at me too, bro. You feel me? I be mad too, bro. Trap nigga living luxury. Hey, don't got time for no Lord of fuckery. Yo, why I keep on fucking up in miscount? She talk too much, I had to put that bitch out. They thought it was gay when I said free my nigga, yo, did it. Yeah. Man, we here, baby. Hey, look, how we doing it, baby. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This shit big, man. This shit getting bigger than ever, yeah. Man. You know what I'm talking about, man? Yeah. Hey, man, yo, did it, yeah. Man. Paper route, yo, did it, nigga. And it's what? Yeah. Hey, Bino, what's up, bro? Where you at, man? Mills, what's up, bro? What's up, ATL Soho tonight, movie time. We just little hot. Yo, why?
Carolina 5 days earlier, and the other person in the video reminds him to stay quiet.
Hey, Granny.
If I was these fuck niggas, I'd be mad at me too. You know what I mean? Yeah, all that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
All that.
And I still ain't got no tags, bitch. Yeah, you know what I mean? I be mad at me too, bro. You feel me? I be mad too, bro. Trap nigga living luxury. Hey, don't got time for no Lord of fuckery. Yo, was gang when I said free my nigga, Yo Diddy. Yeah. Man, we here, baby. Hey, look, how we doing it, baby. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This shit big, baby. This shit getting bigger than ever, baby. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, man? Yeah. Hey, man, Yo Diddy, man. Look around Yo Diddy, nigga, ain't it funny? Yeah. Hey, Bino, what's up, bro? Where you at, man? Bizzle, what's up, bro? What's up, man?
Seems you knew exactly where he was.
ATL Soho tonight, movie time. We just little holler my boys, dirty boys. Yeah!
They tried to look tough. They showing guns, y'all. They got guns.
I'm in North Carolina, nigga. You already know. I'm in North Carolina, nigga. You already know. I'm in North Carolina, nigga. You already know. I'm in North Carolina, nigga. You already know.
Y'all, please help me hit my goal. Y'all be tripping. We got 2 minutes and 2 minutes.
Less than 10 days later, here comes a response from Big Head.
They don't want to tell people that
already knew that Gotti was responsible for his artist's decision to take the beef into his own hands. For that reason, he would go on to Tim Westwood's interview to state otherwise. He did not want to address beef with Dolph due to a recent attempt on Dolph's life in North Carolina. But he addressed his artist crashing out with a second attempted life-taking by the same criminal organization / record label within a single week. Gotti says he would always give him the proper advice from a big brother's standpoint. He tells Youngsta publicly how he does not move like that he does his dirt without having evidence coming back to him. And Gotti says that he will tell everyone the same thing. To every youngin' not to handle business like that in front of all the cameras with real guns and real own gangbanging crew. Meaning, instead of saying as a big brother to these dudes to go get the money and leave the streets alone, Gotti's smartass entices the crime and his artist by saying if you handle the street business, do it as he would off the camera. However, Youngsta would not pay attention to Gotti's advice and help us stay clear from 2 attempted life-taking charges. Instead, he would completely crash out by releasing his music video called Shake Some, meaning life-taking some, where he puts in the footage of his recent visit to Castalia with the rest of the crash outs. Absolutely unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
About 4 days later, Dolph released his response to Youngsta's diss with his own verse. This verse would feature on the Troubles remix of the song called Ready. Dolph claims that Youngsta is the police for recording his life-taking attempt and doing gangsta stuff. Dolph tells him first time publicly how he smashed his boss man, meaning Gotti, his baby mother, in the same hotel for 4 weeks. Dolph then tells Gotti to never send a little boy to take care of grown man business, referencing recent 2 life-taking attempts by CMF affiliates. 1 month later, Trouble would release video to go with the song.
Absolutely, Granny.
The same day that Dolph dropped his diss response on the track with Trouble, he snapped first time publicly on CMF. Until that moment, he was considerate, patient and professional. Everybody has their own limits. Dolph would call out Gotti for hating on 3-6 Mafia, 8-Ball, MJG and others, as well as sending Keyin, Dinero, Youngsta and others to fight his own conflicts. Dolph says directly that it is Gotti who sent Youngsta, and that he was still mad over Dolph not wanting to sign under CMF. Then he goes on and asks Gotti if he is still upset because he kept rocking with Gucci after Gucci and Gotti fell off as shown earlier in the video. Dolph calls him out for hating and blocking on top of calling the police on him. Ever since Dolph rejected the CMF contract, he has been blackballed by Gotti's partners at radio stations and record labels.
Chiefs, lieutenants, all of that.
Hey, I've been spraying your bitch ass for years, nigga, and the whole city know that. Gotti, you was a bitch ass nigga. I just got back to the city, they say you trying to put charges on me and put the police on me. You send your little nigga out to do all your talking. Talk for yourself, bitch ass nigga. Hey, that big head down syndrome looking motherfucker hate on everybody from the city that gets some real money. You started out hating on 3-6 nigga and they were having Oscars and shit, nigga. You had to hate cause you were broke, nigga. That's the only way you can get attention, boy. You were broke, boy, now you hating on Dolph, nigga. You a bitch, nigga. Hey man, if I was your pussy ass boy, I'd be mad at me too, man. Why you mad at me? Cause your bitch ass on fake watch busters and you had to fake it till you make it, bitch ass nigga. And I came in the game rocking real ice driving coupes and shit, bitch.
Oh, okay, I guess that ended. Hold on.
2 days after Dolph called them out. You already know what's going on. Every time something happens.
Too, bruh, you feel me? I be mad too, bruh.
Responsible for his artist's decision to take the beef into his own hands. For that reason, he would go on to Tim Westwood's interview to state otherwise. He did not want to address beef with Dolph due to a recent attempt on Dolph's life in North Carolina. But he addressed his artist crashing out with a second attempted life-taking by the same criminal organization / record label within a single week. Gotti says he would always give him the proper advice from a big brother standpoint. He tells Youngsta publicly how he does not move like that he does his dirt without having evidence coming back to him. And Gotti says that he will tell everyone the same thing. To every youngin' not to handle business like that in front of all the cameras with real guns and real own gangbanging crew. Meaning, instead of saying as a big brother to these dudes to go get the money and leave the streets alone, Gotti's smartass entices the crime and his artist by saying if you handle the street business, do it as he would off the camera. However, Youngsta would not pay attention to Gotti's advice and help us stay clear from 2 attempted life-taking charges. Instead, he would completely crash out by releasing his music video called Shake Some Meaning Life-Taking Some, where he puts in the footage of his recent visit to Castalia with the rest of the crash outs. Absolutely unbelievable. About 4 days later, Dolph released his response to Youngsta's diss with his own verse. This verse would feature on the Troubles remix of the song called Ready. Dolph claims that Youngsta is the police for recording his life-taking attempt and doing gangsta stuff. Dolph tells him first time publicly how he smashed his boss man, meaning Gotti, his baby mother, in the same hotel for 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Dolph then tells Gotti to never send a little boy to take care of grown man business, referencing recent 2 life-taking attempts by CMF affiliates. 1 month later, Trouble would release video to go with the song. The same day that Dolph dropped his diss response on the track with Trouble, he snapped first time publicly on CMF. Until that moment, he was considerate, patient, and professional. Everybody has their own limits. Dolph would call out Gotti for hating on 3-6 Mafia, 8-Ball, MJG, and others, as well as sending Keyan, Dinero, Youngsta, and others to fight his own conflicts. Dolph says directly that it is whole Gotti who sent Youngsta, and that he was still mad over Dolph not wanting to sign under CMF. Then he goes on and asks Gotti if he is still upset because he kept rocking with Gucci after Gucci and Gotti fell off as shown earlier in the video. Dolph calls him out for hating and blocking on top of calling the police on him. Ever since Dolph rejected the CMF contract, he has been blackballed by Gotti's partners at radio stations and record labels.
Hey, I've been spraying your bitch ass for years, nigga, the whole city know that. Whole Gotti, you was a bitch ass nigga. I just got back to the city, they say you trying to put charges on me and put the police on me. You send your little nigga out to do all your talking. Talk for yourself, bitch ass nigga. Hey, that big head down syndrome looking motherfucker hate on everybody from the city that gets some real money. You start off hating on 3-6 nigga and they were having Oscars and shit, nigga. You had to hate cause you were broke, nigga. That's the only way you can get attention, boy. You were broke, boy, now you hating on Dolph, nigga. You a bitch, nigga. Hey man, if I was your pussy ass boy, I'd be mad at me too, man. Why you mad at me? Cause your bitch ass on fake watch busters and you had to fake it till you make it, bitch ass nigga. And I came in the game rocking real ice driving coupes and shit, bitch.
Two days after Dolph called them out. You already know what's going on. Every time something happens between PRE and CMF, here goes Lil Bussy taking pictures with CMF and Goin ringing everybody's phone. Before the year 2016 ended, Gotti finally got through to Youngsta. In September 2016, under the advice of Gotti, Youngsta does that fake stuff Gotti be doing to hide beef from law enforcement and act like he know nothing about anything, and there is no issue right before they make an attempt. Check this out. Youngsta lying on Gotti likes Dolph after all the blocking, hating, and life-taking attempts as soon as he said no to Gotti and CMF. And that concludes 2016. Let me show you what else upset Gotti, forcing him to put up an additional life-taking order in with Juke and Goin.
Stunt with no labor. Young fly nigga. High nigga. Fucked your bitch and told her bye nigga. No lie nigga. Hey, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, man, hold up, hold up, bro. Hey,
Dolph is a wild boy. He a wild boy. I like him.
Hey, man. Shout out to the street, shout out to all the hustle, shout out to all the money go getters, man. Go get the money, man. Boy, I tell you, man. Young Dolph.
He fucked your bitch and said bye.
Nigga. No lie, nigga. Hey, man, if I was your pussy ass boy, I'd be mad at me too, man. Why you mad at me?
It's some people I heard that they playing chess. You know, I saw the board. We all watching the board. The best chess players in the town watching the board. We watching this game as it progresses, like you watching two people play on the board. You dig what I'm saying? And you know, niggas playing to win. You know, and
Next time on Justice for Dolph.
Hey, okay, so 8-ball, we know. 8-ball.
About anything, and there is no issue right before they make an attempt. Check this out. Youngsta lying on Gotti likes Dolph after all the blocking, hating, and life-taking attempts as soon as he said no to Gotti and CMF. And that concludes 2016. Let me show you what else upset Gotti, forcing him to put up an additional life-taking order in with Juke and Goin.
Stunt with no labor.
Oh yeah, this it.
Young fly nigga. High nigga. Fucked your bitch and told her bye nigga. No lie nigga. Hey, hold up.
Clowning. Got him.
Hold up, bro. Hey, man.
Dolph is a wild boy. He a wild boy. I like him.
Hey, man. Shout out to the street, shout out to all the hustle, shout out to all the money go getters, man. Go get the money, man. Boy, I tell you, man. Young Dolph.
He fucked your bitch and said bye.
Nigga. No lie, nigga.
That's, yeah.
Hey, man, if I was your pussy ass boy, I'd be mad at me too, man. Why you mad at me?
Shout out to Stan G, Mr. N.
They playing chess. You know, I saw the board. We all watching the board. The best chess players in the town watching the board. We watching this game as it progresses, like you watching two people play on the board. You dig what I'm saying? And you know,
He was with CMG.
Win, you know,
he gets royalties from CMG.
Next time on Justice for Dolph. The prophecy finally comes true.
Okay, y'all. So before I move to the next one, do we need to just go to the motivation and call it, because y'all not hitting the like button? Y'all not supporting the platforms. No cash apps, no super chat, super sticker, no jewel box, no gems, no nothing. So do we just need to go to the motivation and let y'all get y'all act together and see how the likes are at the end? Cause yeah, I'm already an hour in, so maybe we need to just move to the motivation before we move to part 2. What y'all want to do? What y'all trying to do today? What y'all trying to do? Y'all still here? Y'all wanna? Yeah. Y'all still here? What grandchildren? Where you get that from, Granny? Who got grandkids? I don't have no grandkids. The devil is a lie. Where you get that? What? When have I ever said anything about grandkids? No. No.
Find your favorite movies on YouTube. Get AMC
Oh,
Plus,
we haven't
Paramount
forgot
Plus,
about
Max,
you. We got
and
to
more
take
on
care.
YouTube.
We got to take care of the grandchildren first. I got a lot. Oh, okay. My bad. My bad. I thought you was talking about me. I was gonna say, oh. Okay. Let me see what this other one is like. Her name is Granny Prayers. Okay. Yeah, my bad. I thought she was saying me. My bad. I can say I'm sorry. I was wrong. My bad. I know people don't like doing that, but I don't have a problem. Let me try to get to this next time. Let me see how long it is. Because I definitely still want to get the motivation. Please hit the like button. Yeah, I mean, you know. Folk be acting funky. Me and you getting our hours before Christmas.
Run me up, man. Tag your friend. Tag a friend, yeah. You too deep in the south. That's what it is. I'ma go. I'm somebody you gotta.
She was upset over a girl met Darnisha through Mob Wilson somewhere and eventually ruined
Y'all ready
Gotti.
for this one?
What Gotti does not want you to know is that he called hits both on Dolph and Darnisha for all the trauma he suffered
Darnisha.
from
So
finding
this is
Dolph.
gonna incorporate
You're a
Darnisha.
black youngster.
Are y'all ready for this?
On Dolph and Darnisha.
You're a black youngster. We have to know. We have to know. That's crazy, bro.
What Gotti does not want you to know is that he called hits both on Dolph and Darnisha for all the trauma he suffered from finding Dolph's number in her phone. Disrespect on the audio and music video for Play With Your B. And eventually blowing the cover on Gotti's Secret Child with Darnisha that would eventually ruin Gotti's main relationship at the time Dolph exposed him because nobody is supposed to know that information. Even though Gotti tried to buy his current girl Jamie Love with cash at Gotti restaurant on Valentine's date, knowing truth is about to come out.
Did y'all hear that? What y'all good at? So they tying Covington. Darnisha, he said he put a hit on Dolph and Darnisha. And there's a secret child. And that Covington, something about her son and Mark Wilson and her. She survived. Mark Wilson's mom did not.
And eventually blowing the cover on Gotti's Secret Child with Darnisha that would eventually ruin Gotti's main relationship at the time Dolph exposed him because nobody is supposed to know that information. Even though Gotti tried to buy his current girlfriend Jamie love with cash at Gotti restaurant on Valentine's date, knowing truth is about to come out.
Now y'all remember when Gotti was in Dubai, so was Darnisha. Trayon definitely gonna tell. He got life. He got nothing. Oh, he got life. Trayon Ingram got life.
Their relationship still fell apart by his current girlfriend Jamie. The audio
and Jamie is his ex-wife. Okay. Let's get to let's listen. I'm listening, y'all. I haven't been able to fully validate the love child. But let's listen.
Music video for Play With Your B, and eventually blowing the cover on Gotti's Secret Child with Darnisha that would eventually ruin Gotti's main relationship at the time Dolph exposed him, because nobody is supposed to know that information. Even though Gotti tried to buy his current girlfriend Jamie love with cash at Gotti restaurant on Valentine's date, knowing truth is about to come out, their relationship still fell apart. Also, Gotti's image was at stake. Dolph met Darnisha through Mob Wilson somewhere in the period between bringing Dolph on stage and before March 2016. More towards 2015 though. Mob Wilson was already down with Gotti and CMF at first. Later on he met Dolph and knew exactly what he was doing, linking Dolph and Darnisha, wanting to kind of come up on from the conflict and stir it up. That's why he'd been taking pictures with both sides. He knew very well that's Gotti's baby mom and what he was doing. Remember how Gucci was upset over a girl cheating on him with Gotti? That pushed Dolph to get one back for his homeboy Gucci and expose Gotti after eventually sleeping with Darnisha. And this is another proof how we can know Gotti is the ultimate mastermind in the Dolph tragedy, even one level above Goin. Both of them are masterminds, but who called death on Dolph was Gotti. Because if Gotti didn't request Darnisha to go away too, being a potential witness, Goin wouldn't have to recruit Trian too. We have seen already that it was same car and same weapon used both on Darnisha and Dolph. First to send a message, and second due to lack of resources and planning. What Goin does not want you to know is that Trian Ingram is very close to Gino Gang, Trella Mafia, and D-Money. This was not a coincidence. That's why we have seen Straight Cop receiving that Mercedes from his boy Trian. Darnisha is tougher than 50 Cent though. We will show you all the Trian Ingram connections somewhere in the upcoming videos. He also has family members in close proximity to MAKEDAS cookies. We all wonder what the hell happened with this case.
Start my whole campaign like it's a reality. It's not a WWF. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
Hold up. Stop.
Let's see how much is Mob Wilson actually down with CMF. Back in June of 2019, he seen Straight Cop receiving that Mercedes from his boy Trian. Darnisha is tougher than 50 Cent though. We will show you all the Trian Ingram connections somewhere in the upcoming videos. He also has family members in close proximity to MAKEDAS cookies. We all wonder what the hell happened with this case.
Start my whole campaign like it's a reality. It's not a WWF. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
Let's see how much is Mob Wilson actually down with CMF. Back in June of 2019, he seems very excited to attend Gotti's show, and claims he goes every year for 7 years in a row. Already big fan of his, who knows Gotti Ben had a child with his girl Darnisha. Of course Darnisha and Anita were there too. Anita was a fan of CMF and Gotti. And if you remember, she was arrested with Trulla and Moneybagyo down in Mason, Tennessee.
Absolutely. Facts.
3 years before that event, while Youngsta and Dolph beef escalated and diss songs were already released, here goes Mob Wilson cheering Youngsta on saying how he is on Dolph's ass, acting like a groupie in the crowd. Less than half a year later, we see Two Side playing Mob Wilson taking pictures with Dolph, and this time writing his thing, shaking my head. Keep in mind in this video, you can also see number 1 over there at CMF cheering on Youngsta diss that he made to go along with his visit to Dolph's neighborhood looking for him. Shortly before that, there was that first attempt by Kian, De Niro, and them. So we have the same mastermind behind all the attempts on the stage with his soon-to-be next crash out, while Mob Wilson and the crowd cheering it on already only a few months in from when conflict escalated into violence. The first time Dolph mentioned the affair with Darnisha publicly was on the record Play With Your B. The song was released on the 1st of February, 2017, one day before his project named Gelato dropped on the 2nd of February. Not only Dolph called out Gotti, but he also called out his big brother Juke and how Dolph helped him put food on the table when Gotti was not messing with him. Dolph also exposes how Gotti used to beef with Dykes and came up rapping dissing 3-6 Mafia.
Used to beef with what?
In addition to Play With Your B, Dolph would diss Gotti one more time on the song Gelato 2. Go check out lyrics for both Gelato and Play With Your B. The same day the song Play With Your B was released, Gotti finally responded publicly to the beef. The public was curious what the response would be since he and Youngsta acted like there was no beef, but constantly kept plotting on Dolph's life. Gotti tried to seem unbothered and started boasting about his partnership name-dropping Jay-Z and L.A. Reid. That didn't age well looking at things now, in 2024. Gotti put up a caption to a picture of himself saying he is never distracted. Then he said blah 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 and that his album is available in stores and on iTunes. What is interesting is that this whole time Gotti never went up and spoke up about how he never wanted to sign Dolph, or how Dolph lied about fronting Big Juke, or how he never hated on 3-6 Mafia. Gotti never spoke up about how Darnisha is a lie and that she is not his secret baby mother. None of that. He only went straight to calling hits on Dolph's life because his feelings were hurt and he had no comeback. Seven days after Gotti's short response, Dolph would call out Gotti on DJ Holiday's radio show about how he tried to sneak diss not only on Twitter, but in his last 2 projects. Dolph would say Gotti is playing too much while he knew, but couldn't say about attempts, hating, and blocking. Dolph is down to play but how he wants under his rules. He was going to expose what seemed flawless Gotti in the media. Dolph was going to bring facts after facts, saying Gotti won't know how to respond, because there is no response. Just as we said, Gotti can't deny any of the things, because it is pure truth. Dolph didn't have to get up on the record and lie. However, Dolph had another secret weapon up his sleeve. Two days later, on February 11th, Gotti finally took Dolph's advice and dropped a diss directed to Dolph. Even though he does not call Dolph's name, it is quite obvious from the lyrics. Gotti featured on the song recently signed MONEYBAGGYO, who Goin discovered first even before Zach Randolph. Moneybag drops Zach's name in the song too. I'm Moneybag, should I drop Zach's side piece all these years? Don't play with me or we making play with your B part 2. Anyway, y'all go listen to the song and Gotti's part. He admits to everything that happened before and what he was planning to do next. He goes on and says Choppa is the answer to his problems. Beefing with him and Dolph still living and God answered his prayers. Then he says something that sounds like, oh, he slept with my baby's mother and I am rich. God answered your prayers. To me sounds like he is admitting about Darnisha, which is major. Then Gotti admits no matter how much money he got, he would still crash out by saying 20 million later, I am still going to shoot that banger. Then Gotti says, popping pills, going to sleep, and waking up trying to deal with his anger. Admitting he is on pills and an angry hater. He finishes by saying, play with me, you ain't safe, bro, which is basically third threat to Dolph's life. Let's check out now how Dolph responded to this lame diss. Dolph had a response that barely anybody in hip-hop history can match. Dolph would double down on his song Play With Your B by releasing an accompanying music video to it. Dolph casted Gotti's lookalike, Juke's lookalike, Vato's lookalike, and finally Govin's lookalike in his masterpiece. We already showed you that part from the music video when Dolph meets Gotti in his studio. In the song, Dolph also shows how Gotti found his number in Darnisha's phone and cried about it and argued with the girl. He also shows part when Big Juke was telling Gotti that they need Dolph on their team. Finally, Dolph shows the part based on the real story, when Juke had to come get fronted with weed by Dolph, because his own brother wouldn't help him. That time Juke came in the white car that was driven by Goin. Dolph is such a genius, and knew exactly who to put in that song. Out of 4 lookalikes plus the 5th one looking almost identical to Darnisha, Dolph time traveled, and let us know exactly who would be behind his tragedy, and for what reason. Dolph is cold for putting Goin in for a split second, disputing his lie when Goin said he never had any other beef besides T.I. I mean, you have to be really stupid to go and do something to him at this point after all that dissing, conflicts, and all the evidence out there on top of self-snitching.
And hiring a dodo hitmen, crack fiends, and desperate wannabe artists. When your secret comes out,
The
nobody
very
was
next
supposed to
day,
know
on February
about that baby.
25th, 2017, shocking news spread online. Young Dolph was the target of an assassination attempt in Charlotte, North Carolina, in which over 100 rounds were fired at his vehicle. Coincidentally, this incident happened exactly 1 year away from the previous attempt in Charlotte by Keyin and De Niro in 2016, where Dolph was performing again during the CA weekend. This makes you think about which basketball coach gave location drop to CMF. I can think of a few coaches tied to that side in Goin. Anyway, could have been somebody from the industry too. Dolph's SUV was luckily bulletproof, and Dolph was not concerned or moved by his action at all. Immediately after the shooting, Dolph hit the stage and performed the greatest diss song in hip-hop history. The shooting was obviously a retaliation for a disrespectful diss that Dolph dropped earlier that month, with an accompanying video the day before the shooting, which sealed the deal for CMF. Gotti increased money offer for Dolph's life within his CMF circle. As Keyin was already locked up, the heavy camp branch of CMF stepped up. BLACYOUNGSTA turned himself in along with Gardner and Fred Black. Charges were dropped due to the lack of Dolph's collaboration again. And of course, Gotti's and CMF law enforcement connections. Because if these crash outs go down legally, Gotti has to, being the source of the conflict, and requested for Dolph to be taken out by anybody around him offering a huge bounty. We already know that Dolph is not a snitch or a crybaby. Less than 2 weeks after the shooting happened, Dolph had another interview where he was asked about his beef with Gotti. Dolph was quick to respond, "That's old news, and not to worry about it." Keep in mind, Dolph could have sent way more crash outs back at Gotti than Gotti has at their disposal. But Dolph wasn't worried about him. He had bigger fish to fry. He would also keep his comments to minimum regarding the Charlotte shooting specifically, making public believe that beef has finally died down, which most definitely goes into Gotti's advantage. So he can try to attempt it again now that he did not get in any trouble for all the attempts. Seven months later, on September 27th, 2017, after Dolph declared beef as old and covering for CMF because he is not a little snitch like Goin, things escalated dramatically. Young Dolph was shot outside of a Los Angeles store. This was the first time they actually shot him and was rushed to the hospital. Dolph luckily survived the shooting, but it intensified the animosity between the two. Dolph was shot outside of Shoe Palace, not inside the hotel. Also, there's word around CMF camp that they were actually sent there to take Dolph's life. They booked there on purpose, while somebody gave a location drop on Dolph to CMF. This was not a coincidence, as it was being pushed through media controlled by Gotti's business partners. Not only by media, Dolph again covered these suckers and said on an interview that it was some random shooting knowing who was behind it. This was planned and deliberate attempt. This was not a coincidence. They came there to take his life inside the hotel, but they caught him outside. Corey McClendon, aka OG Vato, was arrested outside the next day as the main suspect, with a few more people that were let to walk free. Gotti was immediately named a person of interest by LAPD, as reported by TMZ. Finally, after all these attempts and threats, I guess he has some good ties in Los Angeles that they let him walk free on such a serious crime. The next day, XXL reached out to LAPD and said those reports were unfounded. Did somebody make a call to pass on Gotti, or was TMZ just clout chasing?
Thank you, Kane Life, for the 500 jewels. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Here we go again. The same day that Gotti was cleared by LAPD, they announced his associate, OG Vato, was charged with attempted life-taking in connection to the shooting. He was arrested the day after the incident and held on $1 million bail. At the time of his arrest, LAPD was looking for 2 more suspects who came down with Vato and CMF entourage looking to take out Dolph. And then, what a surprise, after being arrested the day prior, Corey McClendon, aka OG Vato, was released without charges, and LAPD didn't arrest anybody. Talking about protection, the charges they gave him just magically dropped. De Niro shot at what he thought was Dolph, and he walked away. Youngsta and his crew walked without any charges, basically pulling a terror attack. Now these dudes walk completely free, and Gotti walks free every time. If these dudes are not the super police as Dolph tried to warn us, I don't know who is. By the way, there was more what we can count as attempts on Dolph's life than the public knows and should know. I know about them, but it is not my story to tell, and I can make a good distinction between what to leak and what not. We are not here to tell anybody business if we are being told something. But there were definitely a few more close calls. In conclusion, Dolph was shot at multiple times, looked for, harassed by Gotti's crash outs and the police, blocked and hated on by Gotti.
Hold on.
And his radio
Can y'all still hear?
and much more. And you expect Dolph not to remain?
Can y'all still hear?
Expose these losers?
Man, it's so many artists from back in the day, in the 3-6 era and the Yo Gotti era, that didn't make it and didn't really just pop off big, that could have made it and supposed to made it. But Memphis got that I mentality. It always been the king of Memphis. I'm the king, I'm the king, I'm the king. And it ain't nothing but it's just the I. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't accept the people. They don't. It ain't like Atlanta. It ain't like New York. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But because it's like, it's supposed to be a whole lot of people that don't like really been made themselves millionaires out of Memphis, like just messing with the music. But it's just the person that got the juice always like they
selfish.
The only one with the juice. So what do you do to bring that together? I want to thank you for waking me up this morning, and thank you for blessing me with some more haters. And thank you, Jesus, you know.
No, you're not playing. Oh my goodness.
Keep going and blessing my family and everything else, Lord. Thank you,
Jesus. Watching us.
Yeah.
You watching the future right now.
You know, I like this. This is three. It's just the person that got the juice always, like, they want to be the only ones with the juice. So what do you do to bring that together?
Lord, I want to thank you for waking me up this morning, and thank you for blessing me with some more haters. Thank you, Jesus, you know, and helping me keep striving and keep going and blessing my family and everything else.
You
Lord.
done lost half your
Thank you,
family.
Jesus. Thank you, watching us.
Yeah.
You watching the future right now.
You know, I like this. This is 360, man. Y'all gonna do it like this?
That's how we gonna do it, man. I want to make you feel comfortable.
Hey.
You at home, man.
Hey. Yeah. This dog, man, it's that South Memphis shit, man. Paper Route Empire.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. The only major nigga in my whole city that ain't never ever had a major deal. I think that it's about time that I explain to these people how I did it and what's the motherfucking deal.
Let's go.
Young nigga, caked up 6 cribs. Never ever ever took a bitch to where I live. One day I'm in North Hollywood, next day I'm back in Memphis. Just catch my plug, got 350 in my whole outfit, Javinci. Excuse me, Givenchy. Way before all this music, I been getting money. Who else came through this bitch spending their own paper? Who else came through this motherfucker stunting with no labor? Young fly nigga, high nigga. Fucked your bitch and told her bye nigga. No lie nigga. Hey, hold on.
They want us to know that that is the root to all of it.
Dolph is a wild boy. He a wild boy. I like him.
Man.
Bye, nigga.
Shout out to the street, shout out to all the hustle, shout out to all the money go getters, man. Go get the money,
Wild
man.
boy. I tell you, man. Young Dolph. He fucked your bitch and said bye.
Nigga. No lie, nigga. Hey man, if I was your pussy ass boy, I'd be mad at me too, man.
And they definitely
Why you
mad.
mad at me?
It's some people I heard that they playing chess. You know, I saw the board. We all watching the board. The best chess players in the town watching the board. We watching the game as it progresses, like we watching 2 people play on the board. You dig what I'm saying? And you know, niggas playing to win. You know, and
Next time
Okay.
on
Before we leave, y'all, you know I like on Sundays to give us some motivation to carry us through the week. Whoever doing these videos, hey, yo, got it for real. Absolutely. And they want to expose them. So, you know, I figured out who it was some time ago.
Ladies
But,
and gentlemen.
hold on. But, yeah, they've been wanting to expose it. So we'll pick up tomorrow. Or maybe, no. We'll pick up later on today. But I got to put in my motivation on Sundays. Okay? Let's listen.
Let me tell you something. When God begins to move in your life, he doesn't send an email. He doesn't flash neon lights, and he doesn't shout from the rooftops. No, God speaks in whispers, in moments, and signs that require your attention. But if you're paying attention,
Y'all, please hit the like button.
those signs will lead you right into the next season of your life. Now let's talk about these 7 signs, and I want you to listen closely because one of them might just be your wake-up call.
Listen what you good here.
There's a restlessness that comes into your spirit, and it's not the kind of restlessness you can shake off by staying busy or distracting yourself. It's deeper than that. It's almost like your soul is whispering that where you are is no longer where you're supposed to be. You go through your day doing the things you've always done, but they don't feel the same. Maybe it's that job you've been at for years that no longer inspires you. Or perhaps it's a routine you once enjoyed that now feels monotonous. Whatever it is, you can feel it deep down. Whatever it is, you can feel it deep down. And let me tell you, that feeling is no accident. It's not random. That sense of unease, that nagging voice telling you that something needs to change, is often the first sign that God is moving in your life. But here's the thing, it doesn't always feel like a blessing when it happens. In fact, it can be downright uncomfortable. You might find yourself questioning what's wrong with you. Why can't I just be content? You ask. Why do I feel this way when everything seems fine on the surface? That's because God isn't calling you to stay where you are. He's preparing you for something greater. Now here's where it gets challenging. That restlessness can feel like a burden because it disrupts your comfort zone. We're creatures of habit, aren't we?
Yes.
We like the familiar, the predictable, the safe. But God didn't create you to live a small, comfortable life. He created you for purpose, for growth, and for impact. And sometimes the only way to get you to move is to unsettle you where you are. Think about a bird in a nest. When the mother bird knows it's time for her babies to fly, she starts making the nest uncomfortable. She removes the soft feathers and padding so that the sticks poke and prod. At first, the little bird is annoyed. It wonders why its safe, cozy home is suddenly so uncomfortable. But that discomfort is the push it needs to take flight. That's what God does for us when He's leading us into a new season. He stirs up our spirits so that we can't stay in the nest any longer. Maybe you're feeling this restlessness right now. You go to work, and even though everything looks fine on the outside, something feels off. It's not that you're ungrateful, but you know there's more. Or maybe it's in your relationships. You're surrounded by the same people you've known for years, but the conversations feel shallow. The connections don't feel as strong, and you're yearning for something deeper. That's God planting a seed in your heart for change. But here's the challenge: restlessness often comes before clarity. God doesn't always show you the full picture right away. He gives you the stirring, the discomfort, but He doesn't hand you a map with every step laid out. And that's where faith comes in. You have to trust that the restlessness isn't there to torment you, it's there to guide you. It's a signal that your current season is coming to an end and that a new one is on the horizon. This is the point where many people get stuck. They feel the restlessness but resist it because they're afraid of the unknown. They cling to their old season even though it no longer fits because at least it's familiar. But let me tell you something, staying in a place where God no longer wants you will only make the restlessness grow stronger. You'll find yourself feeling more frustrated, more unfulfilled, and more disconnected until you finally surrender and say, okay, God, I'm ready. Lead me.
Got me.
Restlessness is also a call to action. It's not enough to just feel it, you have to respond to it. That doesn't mean you have to make drastic changes overnight. It starts with seeking God's guidance. When you feel that stirring in your spirit, take it to Him in prayer. Ask Him, Lord, what are you trying to tell me?
Yeah, he's a minister.
And then be still and listen. Sometimes the answer won't come right away. Sometimes it will come in a whisper in the scripture or through the words of someone you trust.
Yeah, I got that pin.
Times it will come in a whisper in the scripture or through the words of someone you trust. But it will come. And while you're waiting, don't ignore the restlessness. Use it as an opportunity for reflection. Ask yourself, what is it about my current situation that no longer feels aligned with who I am or who God is calling me to be? Maybe it's a job that no longer challenges you or a relationship that's holding you back. Maybe it's a dream you've been putting off because it feels too risky. Whatever it is, that restlessness is God's way of getting your attention. But let me warn you, responding to restlessness often requires courage. It means stepping into the unknown, leaving behind the familiar, and trusting that God's plan is better than anything you could have imagined. And that's not always easy. There will be moments of doubt, moments when you second guess yourself, moments when you wonder if you've made a mistake. But those are the moments when you have to hold on to your faith and remember that God's plans are always for your good. Think about the people in the Bible who experienced this kind of restlessness. Abraham felt it when God called him to leave his homeland and go to a place he'd never seen. Moses felt it when he saw the suffering of his people and knew he couldn't stay in Pharaoh's palace any longer. Even Jesus felt it in the wilderness preparing for his ministry. In every case, that restlessness was the starting point for something extraordinary. So, if you're feeling restless right now, don't ignore it. Don't try to numb it or push it aside. Lean into it. Pray about it. Reflect on it. And most importantly, trust that it's leading you somewhere. God doesn't stir your spirit without a purpose. He doesn't disrupt your comfort unless he has something better in store. And when the time comes to take that first step into your new season, do it boldly. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to trust the one who does, because that restlessness you feel, it's not a sign that something's wrong. It's a sign that something new is about to begin. Doors closing can feel like rejection, failure, or even punishment. You might knock on a door repeatedly, hoping it will open again, only to find that it's been shut firmly and won't budge. But what if that closed door is actually a blessing? What if it's God redirecting you to something greater, something more in line with his purpose for your life? You see, when God closes a door, it's not to harm you, it's not to harm you, it's not to leave you stuck in a hallway with no way out. It's to protect you from what's behind that door or to prepare you for a door that's about to open. In life, we often cling to the doors that have closed because they represent comfort, familiarity, or even our own sense of control. Maybe it's a job you love that's no longer there. Maybe it's a relationship you invested in that ended unexpectedly. Maybe it's an opportunity you worked hard for but didn't get. It's natural to feel disappointed, even heartbroken when a door closes. But what we fail to see in the moment is that God's plan is bigger than the door we were focused on.
Amen.
While we're staring at the closed door, he's preparing to open one that leads to something far better. A closed door is the only way God can get your attention. When things are going well, we rarely stop to seek his guidance or ask for his direction. But when a door slams shut, we're forced to pause, reflect, and look for him. It's in those moments of uncertainty when we don't know what's next that we draw closer to God. We begin to lean on Him in ways we never would have if everything had gone according to our plan. That's where growth happens. That's where faith is built. But let's be honest, it's not easy to trust when a door closes. It's not easy to see the bigger picture when you're standing in front of a locked door, wondering why it happened. You might find yourself asking questions like, why did this happen to me? Why now? What did I do wrong? And the truth is, you may never get all the answers, but what you will get is God's assurance that He is in control and that His plans for you are good. When a door closes, it's often because that chapter of your life has served its purpose. Maybe that job taught you valuable skills that you'll need in the next role. Maybe that relationship helped you grow in ways you didn't realize at the time. Or maybe that missed opportunity saved you from a path that wasn't meant for you. Whatever the reason, know that a closed door is not the end of the story. It's a turning point, a chance to move in a new direction. At the same time, when God is about to lead you into a new season, He doesn't just close doors. He opens new ones. But here's the catch, you have to be willing to walk through them.
Ooh, it was getting good. Y'all hit the like button.
To walk through them.
Hey, Justin.
Sometimes that's the hardest part. A new door can be intimidating because
I received
it
that,
represents the
Justin.
unknown. You might wonder if you're ready, if you're qualified, or if you're making the right choice. But when God opens a door, He also equips you with everything you need to walk through it. He doesn't open doors to set you up for failure. He opens them to set you up for purpose. The challenge is recognizing the doors God is opening. They don't always look the way we expect. Sometimes they come in the form of a new opportunity that seems small or insignificant at first. Sometimes they come through a chance encounter with someone who has the key to your next step. And sometimes they come through a series of events that don't make sense in the moment, but later reveal God's hand at work. That's why it's so important to stay prayerful and open to His guidance. Walking through a new door also requires letting go of the old one. You can't move forward while holding on to the past. It's like trying to walk into a new room while keeping one foot in the old one. You'll never fully embrace what's ahead. Letting go is an act of faith. It's saying, God, I trust that what you have for me is better than what I'm leaving behind, and that trust is what allows you to step into your new season with confidence. The doors God opens lead to immediate blessings, and other times they lead to challenges that prepare you for the blessings to come. Either way, every open door is part of His plan for your life. And every closed door is a reminder that He is protecting you, redirecting.
That was an ouch, Granny.
The doors God opens lead to immediate blessings, and other times they lead to challenges that prepare you for the blessings to come. Either way, every open door is part of His plan for your life.
Absolutely.
And every closed door is a reminder that He is protecting you, redirecting you, and guiding you towards something greater. Think about the times in your life when a door closed and you didn't understand why. Maybe you were devastated, confused, or even angry. But now, looking back, you can see how that closed door led you to where you are today.
Amen.
Maybe it opened the way for a new job, a new relationship, or a new opportunity that you never would have found otherwise. Or maybe it saved you from something you couldn't see at the time.
Amen.
That's the beauty of God's timing. He sees the bigger picture and he knows what's best for you, even when you don't. When God closes a door, it's not a punishment, it's a redirection. It's his way of saying, this is not the path I have for you. Something better, and when he opens a new door, it's an invitation to step into his purpose for your life. It's an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become more of who he created you to be. So if you're standing in front of a closed door today, don't lose heart. Don't spend all your time banging on it, trying to force it open. Instead, look around, pray for clarity, ask God to show you the door he wants you to walk through. And when you see it, step out in faith. You might not know what's on the other side, but you can trust that it's part of his perfect plan. Remember, God doesn't just close doors to end something. He closes them to begin something new. And the new season he has for you, it's always worth stepping into. So keep your eyes open, your heart willing, and your faith strong. The door God is opening for you is one you don't want to miss.
The most affordable 12-month GLP-1 program with the same active ingredient.
One thing is for sure, I know you got to trust God and not man. So put your trust in
The door God is
God.
opening for you is one you don't want to miss. Challenges and resistance are some of the clearest signs that God is preparing you for something new. But let's be honest, when you're in the middle of it, it doesn't feel like preparation. It feels like struggle. It feels like frustration. It feels like every step you take forward is met with 2 steps back. You might find yourself asking, why is this happening to me? Why is it so hard? But let me tell you something, challenges aren't a sign that you're on the wrong path. More often than not, they're confirmation that you're exactly where you need to be. When God is leading you into a new season, resistance is part of the process. It's not there to stop you, it's there to shape you. Think about it. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. Strength isn't built without pressure. If everything came easily, you wouldn't be ready for what's ahead. Resistance is God's way of refining you, strengthening you, and preparing you for the weight of your next blessing. Picture this, you're in a gym lifting weights. At first it feels impossible. Your muscles ache, your energy wanes, and you wonder if you can keep going. But as you push through, something incredible happens. Your muscles grow stronger. What was once heavy becomes manageable. That's what resistance does, it transforms you. And it's the same in life. The challenges you face now are building the resilience, the character, and the faith you'll need in your next season. But let's be real. It doesn't always feel like preparation when you're in the thick of it. When you're facing obstacles that seem insurmountable, it's easy to feel defeated. Maybe it's financial struggles that weigh you down or health issues that make every day a battle. Maybe it's conflict in your relationships or doors that just won't open no matter how hard you try. It's in those moments that you might feel like giving up. But here's the thing, those challenges are not there to break you. They're there to build you. God knows what's on the other side of your struggle, even if you don't. He sees the bigger picture, and he's using every challenge, every setback, and every ounce of resistance to prepare you for it. But preparation takes time, and it takes trust. It's about leaning into the process, even when it's painful, and believing that God is working all things together for your good. The resistance comes in the form of external challenges, circumstances beyond your control that seem to block your path. But other times the resistance is internal. It's the doubts, the fears, and the insecurities that whisper you're not good enough, you're not ready, you'll never make it.
Oh, I'm gonna make it.
Those voices can be louder than any external obstacle, and they can be just as hard to overcome. But here's the truth, those internal battles are where the greatest growth happens. When you push past your doubts, when you silence the voice of fear, and when you step forward in faith despite your insecurities, something powerful happens. You begin to see yourself the way God sees you, capable, chosen, and equipped for the journey ahead. The resistance you face within is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you're growing stronger, that you're being stretched, and that you're becoming the person God has called you to be. Think about the story of David. Before he ever became king, he faced immense challenges. He was overlooked, underestimated, and even hunted by Saul. But those challenges weren't meant to destroy him. They were meant to prepare him for the throne. Each battle he faced, each moment of resistance was shaping him into the leader God had destined him to be. Or think about Moses. Leading the Israelites out of Egypt was no easy task. He faced resistance at every turn, Pharaoh's refusal to let the people go, the grumbling of the Israelites in the wilderness, and his own moments of doubt. But every challenge Moses faced was part of God's preparation. It strengthened his faith, sharpened his leadership, and deepened his reliance on God.
Are you worried that using your home address for business puts your privacy at risk? At iPostal One, we can help. So, you've started your own company, but feel unsafe using your home address for business use. Not only does every customer and vendor see where you live, creepy, but you could be at risk for identity theft, property damage, and much more. With iPostal One, you can get a real physical street address to use for your business, so your personal address stays protected. Choose an address from any of the thousands in our network where you can receive mail and packages from any carrier. Easily view and manage your mail and packages with our app or online. Forward, scan mail content, pick up or discard your mail. You can even use your iPostal One address with your business registration. Begin protecting your privacy today with a digital mailbox from iPostal1.com.
Oh, sorry. Whew. Sorry.
The same is true for you. Whatever challenges you're facing right now, know that they are not wasted. They are part of God's process. They are refining you, strengthening you, and preparing you for what's next. But you have to choose how you respond to them. Will you let the
Choose
resistance
wisely.
stop you, or will you let it shape you? One of the hardest parts of facing challenges is the waiting. You pray, you work, you push forward, but the breakthrough doesn't come as quickly as you'd hoped. The temptation in those moments is to give up, to settle, or to question whether you're even on the right path. But let me remind you, God's timing is perfect. The delay is not denial. The waiting is part of the preparation. It's in the waiting that your faith is tested and strengthened. In the book of James, it says to consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kinds, because the testing of your faith produces perseverance, and perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. That's what challenges do. They complete the work God is doing in you. They prepare you so that when you step into your new season, you are ready to handle it. The resistance you face is a sign that the enemy knows what's on the other side of your breakthrough. The closer you get to your new season, the harder the challenges may become. But don't let that discourage you. Let it encourage you. It means you're on the right path. It means that what God has for you is so significant that the enemy is trying to stop you. But here's the good news: no weapon formed against you will prosper.
It won't work.
When you face resistance, remind yourself of God's promises. He didn't bring you this far to leave you. He didn't lead you into the storm to abandon you in it. He is with you, guiding you, strengthening you, and preparing you every step of the way. So if you're feeling the weight of challenges and resistance right now, don't give up, don't lose heart. Keep pushing forward, keep trusting God, and keep believing that the struggle is not in vain. Every obstacle you overcome, every battle you face, and every ounce of resistance you push through is bringing you closer to your new season. And when you finally step into that season, you'll look back on the challenges and see them for what they were: stepping stones. You'll realize that the resistance didn't stop you, it shaped you. It didn't break you, it built you. And it didn't delay your purpose, it prepared you for it.
Excuse me.
So hold on, keep the faith. The challenges you're facing now are part of the journey, and the destination is worth every step. God is leading you even through the resistance, and He is preparing you for a season greater than you could ever imagine. Trust the process, and trust the one who is guiding you through it. When you begin to notice a shift in your desires and passions, it's often a sign that God is preparing to lead you into a new season. What used to excite you no longer has the same appeal. The goals you once pursued with all your energy now feel distant, as if they don't fit who you are anymore. You might not fully understand what's happening, but deep down you sense that something is changing. This is not a coincidence, it's a divine stirring. God is redirecting your heart to align with His plans, and this process, while sometimes confusing or uncomfortable, is a powerful sign of His guidance. When God shifts your desires, it's a way of preparing you for what's ahead. He's removing what no longer serves you so that He can make room for what's next. Sometimes this shift happens gradually, almost imperceptibly, until one day you wake up and realize that your priorities have changed.
Amen.
Other times it happens suddenly, catching you off guard. Either way, this change in your passions and interests is not random. It's God's way of positioning you for a purpose greater than what you could have imagined on your own. This shift often starts with a sense of restlessness. You might feel unsettled in areas of your life that once brought you satisfaction. Maybe it's your career, your relationships, or even your daily routine. You find yourself asking questions like, is this all there is? Am I really fulfilling my purpose? That restlessness isn't something to fear, it's something to lean into. It's God's way of getting your attention, of inviting you to seek Him more deeply and to trust that He's leading you to something new. Sometimes this shift can feel like a loss. Letting go of old dreams, habits, or passions can be difficult, especially if they've been a big part of your identity. You might feel like you're losing a piece of yourself, or that you're stepping into unknown territory without a clear sense of direction.
But He will never leave or forsake. He got you.
A clear sense of direction. But what you're really doing is making space for God to do a new work in you. The old passions served a purpose for a season, but they were never meant to define you permanently. God is continually shaping and refining you, and this shift in your desires is a part of that process. As your desires change, you might also notice a growing interest in things that you never paid much attention to before. Perhaps you start to feel drawn to a new career path, a new ministry, or a new way of serving others. You might feel a growing burden for a specific cause or a deeper longing to make a difference in the world. These new passions are not accidental. They are seeds that God is planting in your heart, seeds that will grow and bear fruit in your next season. This shift in desires often comes with a sense of tension. You may feel caught between the familiar and the unknown, between the comfort of where you are and the pull toward where God is leading you. It's tempting to cling to the old, to hold on to what feels safe and predictable. But stepping into a new season requires faith. It requires trusting that the same God who is changing your heart is also equipping you for what's ahead. One of the challenges of this shift is discerning whether the new desires are truly from God.
True that.
After all, not every change in passion is divinely inspired. That's why it's so important to seek His guidance through prayer and to stay grounded in His Word. As you spend time in His presence, He will confirm what He's doing in your heart. He'll give you peace about the new direction He's leading you in, even if it doesn't make sense to everyone else. You might also face resistance from others who don't understand the changes you're experiencing. Friends, family, or colleagues may question your decisions, especially if they don't align with the expectations they placed on you. They might say things like, why would you leave a stable job for something uncertain, or why are you walking away from something you worked so hard for? Their doubts can be difficult to navigate, but remember that God's plan for your life doesn't have to make sense to everyone else. What matters is that it aligns with His will. As your desires shift, you may also feel a sense of inadequacy or unpreparedness for what lies ahead. You might think, God, are you sure I'm the right person for this? I don't have the skills, the experience, or the resources. But here's the truth: God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. If He's placing a new passion in your heart, it's because He knows you're capable of fulfilling it, not in your own strength, but in His. He will equip you with everything you need, one step at a time. This process of shifting desires is also an invitation to let go of control. It's an opportunity to surrender your plans and trust that God's plans are better. That's not always easy, especially if you're someone who likes to have everything figured out. But when you release your grip on what you thought your life should look like, you make room for God to do something extraordinary. His plans are always greater than anything we could dream up on our own. This season of shifting desires can also be a time of pruning. Just as a gardener cuts away branches to encourage new growth, God might be removing things from your life that are no longer bearing fruit. This pruning process can be painful, but it's necessary for growth. It's through the pruning that you become more aligned with His purpose and more prepared for the new season He's leading you into. As you embrace these new desires, you'll begin to see how they connect to God's larger plan for your life. What once felt confusing or uncertain will start to make sense. You'll look back and realize that every step of the journey, every shift in passion was preparing you for this moment. The things you're drawn to now are not random, they're part of the unique calling God has placed on your life. This transformation isn't just about you. The new desires God is placing in your heart are often connected to the impact He wants you to have on others. Whether it's through your work, your relationships, or your ministry, these passions are a way for you to glorify Him and to serve His kingdom. As you step into your new season, you'll find that the fulfillment you're seeking comes not from pursuing your own goals, but from aligning your life with His purpose. When God shifts your desires, it's a sign of His love and His sovereignty. He's not content to leave you where you are. He wants to lead you into something greater. This process may not always be easy, but it's always worth it. As you trust Him, as you embrace the changes He's making in your heart, you'll find yourself stepping into a season that exceeds your expectations, a season that reflects His goodness, His faithfulness, and His perfect plan for your life. When God is leading you into a new season, one of the most significant signs is that doors begin to open, often in ways that are unexpected and undeniable. These opportunities are not mere coincidences, they are divine arrangements orchestrated with precision and purpose. They are God's way of aligning circumstances to guide you toward His plans for your life. These doors might appear suddenly catching you off guard, or they might come after a long season of waiting. But when they open, there's a sense of clarity, even if the path beyond them isn't entirely visible.
I can eat fresh fruit. I can give myself a shot. I don't even flinch.
Entirely visible. You may find yourself presented with opportunities that you didn't ask for or even imagine.
Amen.
Perhaps it's a job offer that aligns perfectly with your skills and passions, a chance to move to a new location, or a connection with someone who opens the way for something greater. These moments are often accompanied by a sense of peace, even if they require stepping out of your comfort zone. They're not about convenience, they're about calling. God doesn't just open doors to make life easier, He opens them to position you for purpose. It's important to recognize that not every open door is from God. Some opportunities might look appealing on the surface, but lead you away from His plans. This is why discernment is critical. You need to seek His guidance through prayer and align every decision with His word. God's doors don't lead to confusion or compromise, they lead to growth, alignment, and peace.
Woo.
When a door is truly from Him, there's a sense of assurance that goes beyond logic or circumstances. It doesn't mean there won't be challenges, but it does mean you'll have the strength and grace to walk through them. Sometimes the doors God opens are subtle, requiring you to pay close attention to His leading. They might come in the form of a small opportunity that grows over time, or a quiet nudge in your spirit urging you to take a step of faith. At other times, the doors are so clear and undeniable that they seem almost too good to be true. You might find yourself thinking, is this really happening? Is this for me? But God's plans are often far greater than what we think we deserve. He opens doors not based on our merit, but on His grace. When God opens a door, it often requires you to let go of something else. You might have to leave behind old habits, relationships, or even dreams that no longer align with where He's taking you. This letting go can be difficult because it involves trust.
And change.
It's about believing that what lies ahead is better than what you're leaving behind. It's about surrendering your plans to embrace His. And while the transition might be uncomfortable, it's always worth it.
It's necessary.
The doors God opens lead to his best, not just what's good. You may encounter resistance or doubt when stepping through a door God has opened. People around you might question your choices, or you might struggle with your own fears and insecurities. It's natural to wonder if you're ready for what's on the other side. But remember, God doesn't open doors for you to stand still. He opens them to propel you forward, to stretch your faith, and to draw you closer to him. If he's opened the door, he's already equipped you to walk through it.
Please hit the like button.
It's also important to remember that some doors may close as others open. This can be a painful process, especially if you've invested time and energy into something that no longer fits into God's plan. But closed doors are not rejections, they're redirections. They're God's way of protecting you from paths that would lead you astray or limit your growth. When one door closes, it's because he has something better in store. It might not make sense in the moment, but hindsight will reveal his purpose. There's a story in the Bible about Paul and Silas that illustrates this beautifully. In Acts 16, they planned to preach the gospel in Asia, but the Holy Spirit closed that door. Instead, they were led to Macedonia, where their ministry had a profound impact. At the time, they didn't know why their original plan was thwarted, but God was orchestrating something greater. The same is true in your life. When God closes one door, it's because he's opening another, one that aligns more closely with his purpose for you. Stepping through an open door often requires courage. It's not always easy to leave behind what's familiar and step into the unknown. You might feel unprepared or uncertain about what lies ahead. But faith isn't about having all the answers, it's about trusting the one who does. When you step through the doors God opens, you're not walking alone. He goes before you, making the way where there seems to be no way. He walks beside you, providing strength and guidance. And he follows behind you, covering you with his grace. As you walk through these doors, you'll find that they lead to opportunities for growth, impact, and transformation. They're not just about what you can achieve, they're about who you're becoming. God uses these new seasons to refine you, to stretch your faith, and to deepen your dependence on him. The open doors are not just a blessing, they're a responsibility. They're an invitation to step into the fullness of who he's called you to be. Sometimes the doors God opens lead to challenges that feel overwhelming. You might think, I thought this was supposed to be a blessing. Why is it so hard? But blessings often come with responsibilities, and opportunities often come with obstacles. The key is to remember that God doesn't open doors for you to fail. He opens them to grow you, to strengthen you, and to prepare you for even greater things. The challenges you face on the other side of an open door are not there to discourage you, they're there to develop you. Walking through open doors also requires humility. It's easy to take credit for the opportunities that come our way, to think that our hard work or talents are the reason for our success. But every open door is a gift from God. It's a reminder of his sovereignty and his grace. When you recognize that he is the source of every opportunity, it keeps you grounded. It shifts your focus from self-reliance to reliance on him. And it reminds you that the purpose of the open door is not just to bless you, but to glorify him. One of the most beautiful aspects of open doors is that they often lead to connections and relationships that are divinely appointed. You might meet someone who becomes a mentor, partner, or a source of encouragement. You might find yourself in a community that challenges and supports you in ways you never expected. These relationships are not accidental, they're part of God's plan to equip and sustain you in your new season. As you reflect on the doors God has opened in your life, take time to thank Him. Gratitude shifts your perspective and helps you see the bigger picture and reminds you that every opportunity, every connection, and every step forward is part of His plan for your life. Gratitude also positions you to steward the opportunities well, to approach them with a sense of purpose and responsibility. Steward the opportunities well, to approach them with a sense of purpose and responsibility. When you walk through the doors God opens, you're stepping into more than just a new season. You're stepping into a deeper relationship with Him. You're learning to trust Him in ways you never have before. You're discovering that His plans are always better than your own. And you're becoming a vessel for His glory, a reflection of His goodness and faithfulness to the world around you. When God is leading you into a new season, you'll often find yourself encountering new challenges that test your faith and perseverance. These challenges aren't meant to discourage or defeat you. They are designed to refine you, strengthen your character, and prepare you for what lies ahead. God uses these obstacles as a means of growth, pushing you out of your comfort zone and into a deeper dependence on Him. It's in these moments of struggle that you come to understand the depth of His grace, the power of His presence, and the strength that comes from trusting in His plan. New challenges can feel intimidating. They often require you to face uncertainties and navigate uncharted territory. You might feel overwhelmed or ill-equipped for the tasks at hand, questioning whether you have what it takes to overcome them. But here's the truth: God doesn't place challenges in your life to showcase your weaknesses. He allows them to reveal His strength. He doesn't expect you to tackle them on your own. Instead, He invites you to lean on Him, to draw from His wisdom and power, and to rely on His unfailing promises. These challenges often come in areas where you feel the most vulnerable. Perhaps it's a new responsibility at work, a shift in your personal relationships, or a call to step into a ministry or purpose that seems far beyond your capabilities. The very nature of these challenges forces you to confront your fears and insecurities, to face the parts of yourself that you'd rather avoid. This can be uncomfortable, even painful, but it's an essential part of the journey. Growth rarely happens in comfort. It happens when you're stretched, tested, and pushed beyond your limits. One of the most significant aspects of these challenges is that they reveal what's inside you. When the pressure is on, your true character emerges. You might discover strengths you didn't know you had, or you might realize areas where you need to grow. Either way, these moments of testing are an opportunity for self-reflection and transformation. They give you a chance to see yourself as God sees you, not as someone defined by your shortcomings, but as someone with the potential to rise above them. In these seasons of challenge, you'll often find yourself relying on God in ways you never have before. You'll cry out to Him for guidance, strength, and wisdom, and in doing so, you'll experience His presence in a deeper way. It's in the midst of your struggles that you come to know Him as your provider, your protector, and your source of peace. You'll realize that the very challenges you fear are the ones that draw you closer to Him, teaching you to trust Him in every aspect of your life. These challenges also serve as a reminder that you are not in control. As much as we like to plan and prepare, life has a way of throwing curveballs that disrupt our carefully laid out paths. When this happens, it's easy to feel frustrated or discouraged, but these moments are an invitation to surrender. They're a chance to let go of your own expectations and to trust that God's plan is better than anything you could have imagined. Surrendering control doesn't mean giving up. It means placing your confidence in the one who holds your future. New challenges often come with a sense of uncertainty. You might not see how things will work out or understand why certain doors are closing while others remain locked. But faith isn't about having all the answers. It's about trusting in the one who does. It's about believing that even when the path isn't clear, God is still guiding your steps. Every challenge is an opportunity to exercise this kind of faith, to take one step at a time, knowing that He is with you every step of the way. These challenges also have a way of strengthening your relationships with others. When you face difficulties, you often find yourself leaning on the support of those around you, family, friends, mentors, or your church community. These relationships become a source of encouragement and wisdom, reminding you that you don't have to face your struggles alone. At the same time, your challenges can inspire others. When people see you persevering through difficulties with faith and grace, it encourages them to do the same. Your journey becomes a testimony to God's faithfulness, showing others what it looks like to trust Him in the midst of adversity. God also uses challenges to teach you resilience. Life is full of ups and downs, and the ability to persevere through tough times is essential for growth. Each challenge you face builds your endurance, equipping you to handle even greater obstacles in the future. It's like a refining fire that burns away what's unnecessary, leaving behind something stronger and more valuable. You might not feel strong in the moment, but as you look back, you'll see how far you've come and how much you've grown. These challenges are also a reminder that your strength doesn't come from your own abilities, but from God. It's easy to rely on your talents, skills, and resources when things are going well, but challenges force you to acknowledge your dependence on Him.
Being able to have something to always protect myself with this Byrna allows me to have that peace of mind no matter where we're really at.
It provides you with peace of mind. Not only that you can thwart the threat, but that you don't have to take a life in order to do so.
With the Byrna, you have the situation where now you're able to make yourself prepared for what might actually happen once you get there.
Of all the materials I use as a realtor, I feel like Byrna just fits in with all of that, and it's something that I don't think I'll ever need, but I'll be really glad that I have.
The most affordable 12-month GLP-1 program with the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy. For one payment upfront, 12 months of weight loss by hers includes 1 weekly injection. App content.
You to acknowledge your dependence on Him. They strip away the illusion of self-sufficiency, teaching you to rely on His grace and provision. And as you do, you'll find that His strength is made perfect in your weakness. You'll discover a power that goes beyond your limitations, enabling you to accomplish things you never thought possible. Sometimes the challenges you face might seem unfair or undeserved. You might wonder why God is allowing you to go through such difficult times. But His perspective is higher than ours, and His plans are always for our good. Even when we don't understand why we're facing certain struggles, we can trust that He is working everything out for our ultimate benefit. The pain and difficulty of the moment are not the end of the story. They are part of a larger narrative, one that is leading to greater purpose and fulfillment. As you navigate these challenges, it's important to stay grounded in God's Word. Scripture is a source of encouragement and wisdom, providing the strength you need to keep going. Passages like Isaiah 41:10, which reminds us not to fear because God is with us, or Romans 8:28, which assures us that all things work together for good, can be a source of comfort and hope. These promises serve as a foundation, reminding you of God's faithfulness even when circumstances are tough. Challenges also have a way of refining your priorities. They force you to focus on what truly matters, stripping away distractions and helping you see what's most important. In the midst of difficulties, you often gain clarity about your values, your purpose, and your calling. You begin to see life through a different lens, recognizing that the things that once seemed so important may not matter as much as you thought. This perspective shift is a gift, one that helps you align your life more closely with God's will. Through these challenges, you'll also discover the importance of gratitude. It might seem counterintuitive to be thankful in the midst of struggles, but gratitude shifts your focus from what's going wrong to what's going right. It reminds you of God's goodness and faithfulness, even in the hardest times. And as you cultivate a spirit of gratitude, you'll find joy and peace that transcend your circumstances. Ultimately, the challenges you face in a new season are not obstacles, they are opportunities. They are opportunities to grow, to learn, and to draw closer to God. They are opportunities to step into the fullness of who you were created to be. And as you embrace these challenges with faith and perseverance, you'll find that they are not just tests, they are stepping stones to something greater. God is using them to prepare you, to equip you, and to lead you into the plans He has for your life. When God is leading you into a new season, one of the most profound ways He confirms this shift is through a deep, unmistakable sense of peace. This peace is not the absence of challenges, nor is it the kind of temporary relief that comes from external circumstances falling into place. Instead, it's a supernatural assurance that anchors your soul even in the midst of uncertainty, guiding you forward with quiet confidence and unwavering trust. It is the kind of peace that doesn't make sense to the world, the kind that surpasses all understanding and comes only from the presence of God.
Perfect peace.
This peace is not something you can manufacture on your own. It is not achieved through striving, planning, or controlling your situation. It is a gift from God, a sign that you are aligned with His will. It settles deep within your heart, providing clarity and calm, even when everything around you feels chaotic. This peace acts as a compass, pointing you in the direction you should go and confirming that the steps you are taking are in line with God's purpose for your life. It's not just a feeling, it's a reassurance that God is in control. When you're entering a new season, the road ahead may be unclear. There may be questions, uncertainties, and even moments of doubt. But the peace that comes from God silences those fears and doubts. It gives you the courage to take the first step, even when you don't see the entire path. It reminds you that you don't have to have everything figured out because God does. His peace acts as a reminder that you are not walking this journey alone. He is with you every step of the way, guiding and protecting you. This peace also teaches you to trust in God's timing. When you're on the verge of a new season, it can be tempting to rush ahead, to force doors open or try to control the outcome. But God's peace slows you down, encouraging you to rest in His perfect timing. It helps you to wait patiently, knowing that His plans are always better than yours. Even in the waiting, His peace sustains you, reminding you that He is working behind the scenes to bring His purpose to fruition. It's a peace that says, "Be still and know that I am God." You might find that this peace comes to you in unexpected ways. It might be a quiet assurance that fills your heart during prayer, or a sense of calm that washes over you in the middle of a busy day. It might come through a scripture verse, a sermon, or a conversation with someone who speaks into your life with wisdom and encouragement. However it comes, this peace is unmistakable. It's as if God is whispering to your soul, saying, "This is the way, walk in it." This peace doesn't mean that everything will be easy.
Okay.
In fact, stepping into a new season often comes with challenges, risks, and sacrifices. But the peace of God gives you the strength to face those challenges with confidence. It reminds you that you are equipped for the journey ahead because He has gone before you. Even when the path is difficult, His peace reassures you that you are exactly where you need to be. It steadies you when the road is rocky and sustains you when the journey feels long. This peace also serves as a guard for your heart and mind. In Philippians 4:7, we're told that the peace of God will guard our hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. This means that His peace protects you from the lies of the enemy, the doubts that try to creep in, and the fears that threaten to derail you. It shields you from the noise of the world, keeping you focused on His voice and His truth. When you're grounded in His peace, you're less likely to be swayed by the opinions or pressures of others. Instead, you're able to move forward with confidence, knowing that you are following His lead. There's also a sense of freedom that comes with this peace. When you know that God is leading you, you don't have to carry the weight of trying to figure everything out on your own. You don't have to strive for control or worry about the what-ifs. Instead, you can rest in the knowledge that He is in control, that His plans are good, and that He is working all things together for your good. This freedom allows you to let go of fear and embrace the new season with open hands and an open heart. As you step into this peace, you'll also find that it has a ripple effect on those around you. When you walk in the peace of God, it becomes evident to others. Your calm and confidence can inspire and encourage those who are watching your journey.
Comfort, yes, comfort my people, says your God. I believe these
Encourage those who are watching your journey. They may not fully understand it, but they'll notice that there's something different about you. Your peace becomes a testimony to the faithfulness of God, a reflection of his presence in your life. It's a reminder to others that they too can experience this peace when they trust in him. This peace also teaches you to focus on what truly matters. In a world that's constantly pulling you in different directions, it's easy to get caught up in distractions and lose sight of your purpose. But God's peace brings clarity. It helps you to prioritize what's important and let go of what's not. It reminds you to fix your eyes on him, to seek his kingdom first, and to trust that everything else will fall into place. This clarity allows you to move forward with purpose and intention, knowing that you are walking in his will. Sometimes this peace requires you to make difficult decisions. There may be times when you have to say no to good opportunities in order to say yes to God's best. There may be relationships, habits, or commitments that you need to let go of in order to fully step into the new season he has for you. These decisions can be painful, but his peace reassures you that you are making the right choice. It reminds you that obedience to him is always worth it, even when it's hard. God's peace also strengthens your faith. When you experience his peace in the midst of uncertainty, it builds your trust in him. It reminds you that he is faithful, that he keeps his promises, and that he is always with you. This faith becomes the foundation for your journey, giving you the courage to keep moving forward, even when the way is unclear. It's a faith that says, I may not know what the future holds, but I know who holds the future. As you embrace this peace, you'll begin to see how God is working all things together for your good. You'll start to recognize his hand in the details of your life.
I've had some hills to climb. I've had some weary days.
Okay, y'all, I'll be back later. Please hit the like button on the way out.
And some sleepless nights. When I look around, I think things over. All of my good days.
Y'all have a good day. I'll be back later.
Sometimes the clouds hang low, and that means foggy, you know. You ever had to drive in the fog? I can hardly see the road. I ask the question, Lord. Say, thank you, Lord.
Please hit the like button on the way out, y'all.
So good to me.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I wasn't finished. I wasn't finished. It ain't over. Hello, hello. Get on back. Girl. Oh, Lord, what I done done? Oh, where is it
Oh,
a good day.